folks, it's Ellie. A quick content warning, just to let you know, this episode covers the topic of death and burial quite extensively. This is a murder mystery, so obviously there's going to be some body talk, and this is just a part of that. If that's something that you're uncomfortable with or you think might be potentially triggering for you, then skip ahead to the end of this episode where we have provided a small recap of everything that happens without going into any kind of detail. We hope you enjoy the episode. Previously on Deck of Many Aces.
I don't understand how many times I need to tell you he's been murdered. I don't understand. Please, just somebody help me. And policewoman on the other side is like, Miss Cates, we have spoken to you multiple times. The investigation is closed. I'm sorry for your loss.
I know what it's like for someone close to you to go missing. As much as gut feelings in particular, they might feel very real and very true, but without any hard evidence, there's not much to go on. Sometimes you prove wrong. Are you sure that's not what's happening here?
It's more than a gut feeling, but it's gonna make me look really bad.
Felicity slowly removes the broom from the door handles and slowly and carefully opens the door, and out slumps the dead body of Dr. Harriet Stennell.
Well, that's certainly...
Well, someone's got skeletons in the closet.
To Deck of Many Aces, an actual play podcast made with actual asexuals. We are a group of people who identify somewhere on the aromantic or asexual spectrum.
Say it again.
Spectrum. No, I'm keeping this in. Spectrum. We are a group of people playing.
We're playing 5th edition D&D
with a twist. Everyone's characters, past, present, and future, is based on a card drawn from the Deck of Many Things. My name is Ellie. I use... What?
I have a suggestion for your M this weght.
Oh, okay, exciting.
I think you should
Hit me.
I think you should
So I use she, her pronouns,
Yeah.
and I am demisexual...
Manchego.
Ooh!
like a cheese.
I like that. Like the Spanish cheese.
Ooh.
Because I am a little bit Spanish. Fun fact for
You are a
everybody.
bit
A little bit
Spanish.
cheese.
I'm a little bit Spanish and a lot cheese.
The joke writes
A quarter
itself.
Spanish, 3/4 cheese.
New Twitter bio.
My Twitter bio is way too professional, unfortunately. What did you say, Chloe? A quarter Spanish and what?
3/4 cheese.
3/4 cheese.
It's you.
I have been eating cheese as my evening meal for the last 3 nights in a row.
This explains a lot.
Our DM, everyone.
Hello. Listen, I think I'm gonna get roasted for my cheese tastes though.
Don't you know all DMs eat copious amounts of cheese?
Exactly.
It's part of the it's
It's
in the
in
rules
the
of
handbook.
D&D.
Recording is
It
now
says
written
it
in
in
hand-
the
few
first
minutes
page.
into the recording and you've only just introduced one person. I'm going to do it out of order this week. Hello.
No,
I was just about to go.
No,
I
I'm
was just
going.
about
I'm
to
going.
go.
I'm doing it.
Katie, you can't do this.
Katie,
I need
Katie,
structure,
I'm gonna be
please.
honest.
No,
I'm
I'm
gonna have a
begging you.
breakdown.
I'm begging you,
fine.
don't do it. Don't do the wrong order.
Fine, do yours.
Hi, my name is I use she, her pronouns. I play Tasia Atherdale, the party battlemaster fighter in Lockstone, and we both get deeply uncomfortable when our routine is disrupted.
Okay, I will not disrupt the routine.
Hello, I am Chloe, and I play Raina Riftwood, who is a tabaxi bard, and is, having a great time with weird magic stuff that she doesn't really understand what's going on, as we are slowly learning. And I'm not going to elaborate on that because I haven't actually had time to think that deeply on it, but I made a choice. And it's canon now.
Same. Hell yeah.
Okay.
No, it makes sense.
Cryptic?
It makes sense within the context.
It's cryptic because I don't know the answer. Teehee.
Hi, I'm Eiriol, and I am playing Delphi, who is a warlock growfolk, and I use she/they pronouns, and Delphi uses she/her pronouns, and I am wildly unprepared for this session. But I think that's just, me playing into character rather than just
I
not
was gonna
remembering
say,
things.
like, what do you think you'd need to prepare?
Oh, just like
I'm the one who's wildly unprepared.
remembering that we were going to have the session today and not finding out about it a couple of hours earlier. Because I completely
Oh
forgot.
my goodness.
This reminds
Eiriol,
me.
babe. I was literally texting you last night, my love.
Yeah, you didn't mention the session last night, right? Listen, it's
don't
wild
know, I
for
can't remember.
anyone to assume I remember anything past, 10 minutes. It's just impractical.
You are a goldfish.
Yeah.
This reminds me I forgot to say I use
Katie?
she/her pronouns, and so does Raina. Please continue.
Yes. Good.
Oh, is it my go now?
Yeah.
I disrupted things by accident. Sorry.
I was gonna say I'm not
my
even
fault.
gonna do the "is it me" joke because, in fairness, everything's gone a bit awry.
Oh boy, we need to cut out so much of this. It's already 4.5 minutes in.
It's fine.
Keep
That's
Chill.
really good
Keep
by our
chaos to a
standards.
minimum. Anyway,
We're doing really good.
I am Katie. My name is Katie. I remember that now. And I'm off my focus today. I'm playing Morgan, who's a wizard, and Morgan is she/her, and I use she/her or they/them pronouns. And there's a body in the cupboard.
Oh yeah, that's where we left it. I was struggling to remember because I've spent this
Are you
week.
kidding? That was the best
editing.
dramatic ending.
Eiriol made the pun.
That's true. That is so. Well, the thing is that Eiriol made the best joke I think I've ever heard.
I can't
All
remember-
comedians can now retire.
Yeah, I can't remember it, but I know it was something to do with skeletons in the closet. That's all I need to...
It was
I
very
think it was
good.
pretty much just that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is what I mean by not remembering things.
Yeah, Ellie was like, we're going to end the episode. And
So
then-
good. But from your perspectives, you've just done that. This is coming out, I think, in July. Hello, listeners. This is a breaking of not the fourth wall,
do
but
you
the
want the date?
illusion. We are. Yeah, hell yeah.
So-
We're recording this in June.
23rd?
Yeah, so we're recording this on the 29th of June.
God, is it
And
29th
this is going to
already?
be... Yeah, this is going to be released on the 30th of July.
I have 23rd in my calendar.
If there's a
Wow,
world shattering
yeah.
event we're not commenting on, that's why. It's because it's the past.
Yes. Exactly.
Wait, no,
If
it's
we
not. It's
are-
going to be released past that because we've got more episodes to go.
No, it's on the 23rd, isn't it? That's what I've got.
No,
in
so
my
the
calendar.
episodes we recorded on the 22nd are dropping on the 9th
Oh,
and
we've
the
s-
23rd.
Yeah.
And so then this one is
Oh,
going to be
this
dropping
one's the one
on the 13th
after.
of August.
6th of August.
And then the one we're recording right after this is going to be dropping on the 27th of August. And then it's
Oh
autumn.
my god.
Please don't
I
remind
think
me.
it might be the 6th and the 20th. But nonetheless, August. So yes, if anything crazy has happened that we're not commenting on, that's why. So I have been recording? I've been editing episode 17 this week. So the last thing that's in my brain is the whole ooh, Felicity's not telling you the whole truth. Whereas
Nope,
I
we
need
know
to
what it was.
reprogram myself and put myself in all of y'all's shoes.
Felicity was all what happened is Felicity said, okay, so I know something, but you need to not judge me in advance.
Freak
I
out.
promise it's not what it looks like. And we were like, she's not going to have the body in our cupboard, is it?
Oh,
And then
yeah.
she opens the cupboard and the body
And
was
then it was literally a skeleton in her closet because Ellie thinks she's funny.
a skeleton wraps in bone.
I genuinely had not considered that joke.
Really?
Genuinely.
It's literally the
genuinely,
origin of the
I
joke
wish
is-
you'll give me
In my head, I'm not giving you credit. In my head, I fully pictured you writing that and then just giving yourself a actual physical pat
High
on the
five.
back.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a hernia from laughing.
So didn't
To be fair, those are both on-brand things for me.
Didn't we promise to not report her to the police on the assumption that she would have something? Yeah, on the assumption that she'd have something in the wardrobe that's like vaguely to do with the murder and not the actual dead body of the murdered person.
And now we're actively accomplices.
Was it explicitly his body?
Yes.
Okay, that makes it worse.
Okay,
Yes.
how do we know he's dead and not just very asleep?
Well, I think it would be worse if it was another unrelated body, actually, because that means there's two dead
Also,
people.
I believe the
Anyway,
language
should we play some
is
D&D?
something like he swings out, which is concerning me.
Oh my god.
Why was
He's hanging on the door like, hello.
This could be a spicy coma wife scenario.
Let's find out by doing the thing.
Every time y'all say something like stupid or smart, I'm like, damn, I wish I'd written that.
That's why you hired us.
Okay.
I want to find out why she's got the body.
So
in the
where we
cupboard.
left off, where we left off, I'm not going to be able to keep a straight face in this, because y'all's reaction was just so good.
good thing this is an audio medium?
Where we left off, woo, ha 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 ha. I've lost my train of thought now. Where
Body
we left
cupboard.
off was Felicity opened the cupboard and and the body like began to fall out. I think she's gonna roll a dex check and like try and catch it as it goes down.
Did she forget the body was in her cupboard? Was she like, I'm just gonna, there's a body.
Oh my gosh, a body! That's not what I meant to show you guys my excellent wardrobe. No, I think it's just, I mean, to be fair,
It was quite bulging.
Dr. Delaware is a 6 foot orc.
Oh, wow.
And
I forgot
she
he was
is
an
a
orc.
like 3 foot gnome.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's a cupboard.
So-
Actually, it is his cupboard, but still, it's a
It is his cupboard.
gnome-made
Oh, yeah.
cupboard.
Gnome made. That's like homemade, but with gnomes. Ah!
Ellie.
What?
Just
It was funny.
no, it wasn't.
Okay, dead body in the cupboard. There's important things to discuss.
Anyway,
Are we taking
So there are
this long to get
important
the
things to
point?
discuss. So Felicity, manages to right the body up and looks at you and is like, "Please don't freak out."
Oh dear.
Believe
Oh
me,
dear.
I was beyond freaking out a long time ago. But what the hell is
Rose
this?
says words I'm not allowed to say on this podcast.
Felicity's just like, "So this is why I know he's been murdered."
Morgan's gonna kind of come forward and use her puny wizard strength to try and like help Felicity kind of shove him back in the cupboard and close it again. Just kind of putting all that back away.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay.
Like a magic trick, if you open the cupboard and it's gone. It's just...
Miss Keats, I have a question.
Yes.
So, and forgive me if I'm missing something here, because I know that this is my first trip to the Clockwork City and I'm not entirely familiar with how things work here. But why do you still have the dead body? Why did you not report it?
How about we all go and sit down and have some tea, and then we can talk about this. I think we
Probably
need
wise.
tea. We'll all be calm.
I don't
Yeah.
want to drink anything. Respectfully, I do not want to drink anything she gives me until she answers that question,
That's all.
which I
That's
think is fair.
If she tries to poison us, we can just kill her. It's fine. If we're getting to that level,
That is true. We probably
I'm pretty
could.
sure we
It's
can
all-
take her.
Okay, I think maybe
it's
we should-
okay. But I think yes, Toz. I think we should all just sit down. Yes, everybody.
Maybe not
Okay.
the tea then.
No
No,
tea.
let's not
Let's
avoid
just
the
sit.
tea. Let's just sit. I feel like sitting is a good
Yeah.
idea.
As always, we solve our problems by sitting in a circle and talking about them.
Toz sits on the floor.
Raina
So,
is very tense right now, trying to like calm.
Felicity, why? How? What?
Right. So basically, about 2 weeks ago, about 10 days ago, I realised it had been a few days that I hadn't heard from Dr. Delaware, and sometimes that was usual, but it had been a little bit too long. So I reported the missing case to the police, and they they listened to me, but they didn't seem particularly interested. They did some preliminary interviews, but they were taking their time, and I was getting quite concerned because obviously by that point he'd been missing for 5 or 6 days. So I hired somebody to cast scrying to try and find the body, and so I did that, and they found him. They found him in this industrial swampland, and so I found the body and I reported it to the police, and they refused to listen to me. They said that it was that. I've just realised I'm definitely not talking in Felicity's voice.
Oh yeah, she talked really fast, didn't she?
It's Irish.
She talks so fast.
She's way more high pitched and faster than this.
Just speed it up.
I can edit that in
She's being
post.
serious.
Just pitch it up a bit.
Yeah.
No.
So basically, I went to the police, and they didn't listen to me, and they just told me to go away. And so I was like, all right, fine. So I went back to try and see the body myself again, and then I saw somebody trying to move it. So I ran after them, and they ran away, but they left the body. And I thought, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I thought, but I thought if I brought it back here, then I could, I don't know, find somebody to speak with dead or resurrect him or something, or something along those lines. I don't have that kind of magic, and I no longer really have that kind of money, but I was just, I don't know, hoping that somebody would be able to help.
So sorry, to clarify, you said this man is missing, and sorry, is Mary said about he him? Sorry, out of character. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you knew that that you told the police, my missing person friend who I told you about, I know where his body is, I found his body, and they ignored you?
Yeah, it was the same woman that I was talking to earlier. I don't know if you saw her. She can be a real, well, I can think of plenty of choice words that I'd like to say about her that I won't because I'm in polite company, but basically, she just told me to go away.
I would like to roll an insight check to see if she's lying about any of this.
Oh yeah, people can lie, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
She
go
has
for it.
already lied to us once.
I would like to help because Can I give Chloe advantage? Because I specifically also wanted to roll an insight check about how decayed the body looked and if that lined up with the story. So can I just give my check to Chloe for advantage?
Yeah.
I did not open my character sheet because I'm dumb. Bear with.
Miss.
My goodness. Surely that is step one in
To be fair, we didn't roll
podcast.
all of last
fine.
session.
Yeah.
You still need the character sheet
For
there.
what?
Potential backstory juice.
I don't write my
Knowing what your
backstory
stats
on
I haven't
are.
written my backstory on my character sheet. I've written nothing on it.
With advantage, I got a 19.
Ooh.
She appears to be telling the truth, and on top of that, Toz. I mean, yeah, this is sort of Raina, sort of Toz, but I know that you said that you wanted to check out the body for decay, and when you saw it, it looked. I mean, I'm not an expert in bodies, and
It would smell bad by this point.
yeah, well, I did originally, before you managed to talk to Felicity and get her to essentially trust you enough to show this, it was gonna be an investigation check with smell, because I know that Toz has advantage on that, to find the body. So yes, but unfortunately we didn't get to use that. But anyway, yes, so the timelines match up. This body looks like it has been, taken from a swamp, and
gross.
it's about 2 weeks old.
Has she, tried to preserve it in any way, or is it literally just, wrapped up in the wardrobe?
It's just, wrapped up in the wardrobe.
Yikes.
I don't know if she knows how to preserve a body, yeah.
I mean, Raina wouldn't know either, but...
Oh, I think we are well past raising dead.
Can I just quickly
Yeah.
get my flask and put it on a little bit of cloth and tie it around my nose? Because it's probably really bad for Toz.
Yeah,
Can I
yeah.
use my arcana knowledge to try and remember what I know about raised dead and resurrection and stuff, whether it would be possible to bring back to life somebody who has been dead for 2 weeks and in a swamp?
Out of character, I know
Okay.
it definitely is, but I don't know if Morgan knows that.
It is possible?
Yeah, but it's incredibly expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Which spell do you need?
You can do a check and I can tell you instead of us metagaming it.
Sorry, Mom.
Let's actually play
Sorry.
Dungeons
I am
and Dragons.
+7ing.
Y'all are complaining about rolling dice. Come on.
17?
17. So you know that resurrection is a really, really high level spell. You can do it, I think, until a year after the person is deceased.
Does it fix the
I
rotting?
think it's 100.
It's way more than that. It's a century. So if a creature is
There's
a century,
two forms of resurrection. There's resurrection and true resurrection. True resurrection is like a century, and resurrection is like a year or 10 years or something like that.
Don't forget reincarnation.
I've got resurrection here as 7th level necromancy. You touch a dead creature that has been dead for no more than a century, that didn't die of old age, and that isn't undead. So there's that, but it's really high level, and you need at least 1,000 GP
So it's going to
just to
require
pay
a
for
lot
material components.
Yeah, and then you have to actually pay the wizard for their time.
The other one that she mentioned was...
Raise
I
dead.
don't know if she mentioned this one, but the other one that she's thinking of, what I meant was Speak with Dead, which is a 3rd level necromancy spell, which is much cheaper, but she might still have trouble finding somebody to do that.
Well, Morgan knows nothing about necromancy.
Neither does Raina.
Okay, so...
Delphi...
Of course Delphi might. The party warlock.
No, Delphi doesn't know anything about necromancy. And she doesn't know anything about non-grow folk dead bodies, but sadly...
That's valid.
Yeah. She'll say that. She's like, I don't know anything about orc dead bodies, specifically, but we should... I'm sure there's someone around here who will be able to help preserve it, even if not bring it back, or...
Yeah. Do you have any
Speak to it.
Eiriol or Kalacta temples in the city?
Yeah, I think we've got some temples to Kalacta and to Krala and some other sort of weirdy, fringy kind of religions. But I don't really. I mean, the whole point is that I can't tell just anybody about this, and especially if they're a religious official, they might, report me to the police. And to be honest with you, I don't exactly have a clean slate with the police at the moment, so I'm a little bit reluctant to go back.
I was wondering why you didn't just say to everyone, I have found his body, here's where it is. Look at this body I found and did not murder.
I understand.
So, do you have any idea why they wouldn't be interested in him, in his death? Did he annoy all of the police officers?
I don't know. I just all I can tell you is that they started the investigation the way that I expect most police do, which is, they seem to be taking it somewhat seriously. There wasn't a lot of, I don't know. I wasn't behind the scenes. I have no idea how much ground they covered or how much sort of they discovered, but then really abruptly, like 7 days ago, they just told me that the investigation was closed and that they just decided that he must be missing and presumed dead and not murdered. So I don't know how they came to that conclusion.
So somebody is clearly bribing them then not to look into it.
Did the doctor have any particular enemies that you know of?
Not really. He was quite well liked within the faculty. Obviously not many people knew him as well as I did, and he was quite an eclectic sort. He kept to
What
himself.
about the work he did? Were there anyone around the town that might be threatened by the work or disagree with it?
Why would they disagree with it?
Sometimes it's not the person, it's the deeds.
Why would they disagree with his work?
Well, I don't know. I don't understand science.
Hey everyone, it's Ellie here. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. If you are, please consider checking out our Supporter ACOS link. This is like a virtual tip jar where you can just give us a little bit of a thank you in financial form. We obviously accept thank yous in non-financial forms, and you are in no way obligated to do this. It would just be a nice cool thing. All the proceeds of that go towards things like making a web domain, investing in merch, and also compensating the lovely, lovely PCs that I have on this show, because they're great and they deserve all the love and all the riches in the world. You can find that at supporter.acast.com/deck of many aces with spaces in between the words. There's also a link right at the bottom of the episode description. Also, Do you have a podcast, TTRPG product, or Twitch stream that you think that the listeners of this podcast might be interested in? If you do, then why not use this space to advertise it? If you're interested in advertising your product here, get in contact with us at deckofmanyaces@gmail.com. Enjoy the rest of the show! Now that I come to think of it, I do remember... Hang on, I'm just going to make her roll a history check. I vaguely remember overhearing someone at the police station saying something about an altercation between him and his neighbour right before he was supposed to have been disappeared, but I don't know, I've seen his neighbour before and he seems like quite a chill bloke.
Do you know his name?
I think his name, it begins with an M, I think?
We are currently at his house, yes. We could just go and say hello.
Say hi.
Before we go any further, I think, can we agree that we have 2 priorities here, or 3, I suppose? One, to make sure that no one gets in trouble they shouldn't be with the police regarding this body. Perhaps we find a way to respectfully lay him to rest in a way that doesn't implicate anyone of murder. And secondly, we need to figure out who did the murdering, or however he died. And then thirdly, we also want to try and perhaps have a look at what he was working on, see if we can, if Felicity and I can have a chat about planar physics, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm happy to walk you through some stuff. Obviously, I think this is, I don't know, maybe a little bit higher priority, but I'm perfectly willing to talk to you about all of that stuff.
Yes, initially we wanted to talk to him about his work for a specific other thing we were working on.
Can you just remind me which room that we're in?
The room is kind of like a bit of a sort of open plan, so it's a sort of living room, kitchen kind of area.
Okay. So the first thing I would like to do is, while we were looking at the body, I'd like to investigate a little bit more, because Toz has been around death a lot, even though she hasn't really done a lot of killing. And the first thing I want to see if I can determine cause of death.
Yeah,
And
go
then
ahead.
the second thing,
Give me an investigation
the second
check.
thing, which is kind of part of this,
yeah, well, second thing.
is I wanted to determine if, this is 100% definitely death, and not a soul with no body's very, very faintly still alive situation.
It's been 2 weeks.
Okay, cool.
I've seen weirder.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me an investigation check, and I guess an Arcana check for the soul with no body.
Body with no soul.
So 2 separate checks. Yes, that's what I meant.
If there's a body with no soul,
check?
somewhere there's a soul with no body. Something to think about.
Hashtag D.
It's definitely a body, though.
Be a medicine check.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, medicine would make
makes
sense.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
yeah,
medicine?
yeah, go ahead, do a medicine check then.
It's the same
Yeah.
bonus. So I got an 18 medicine check, and then I got a 6 Arcana check.
Oh no.
On brand.
So you have no idea. You have no idea about bodies and souls. When you said there was much to think about, that was a lie. Not much to think about. Nothing to think about. No thoughts. What you can glean from the body in terms of potential cause of death, there are a couple of wounds that have been cauterized. So something like potentially, I say that, flame thingies, would it be reasonable to presume that if you were hit with a flame,
With a firebolt or something.
with a firebolt or something, that your
Yeah.
wound
It
would
would-
be cauterized?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
think it-
that's very
yeah.
that's very reasonable.
Yeah. It would burn you.
Oh yeah, you'd be burned, but yeah.
You'd be cauterized and burned.
There are a couple of big, if you sort of unbutton his shirt, you can see and on the shirt there's big singe marks and some kind of impact from something like firebolt. There's lots of singe marks.
And is the space where the singe marks are also infected by the swamp, or is the cauterization clean? Because that would determine whether he was killed in the swamp or not, or whether his body was dumped there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry, explain to me. Hello, Ellie's having a himbo moment. Please explain to me which one would determine what.
I watch a lot of detective shows. Instead of
Yeah.
raising me, my parents sat me down in front of Bones, and they were like, this is how we're going to raise you. So
You say this absolutely terrifies me because I have definitely. This is a solidly average murder mystery. I'm gonna say it right off the bat. It's like this is not Herlock Sholmes
It's okay.
stuff. This is Ellie trying her best. So that is fear-inducing.
Detective shows do not prepare you for murder mysteries because they always just find a clue that reveals it all at the end, and that's how they all work.
I did roll an 18, so if you're the DM and the answer is you can't tell, then the answer is you can't tell.
No. But like, I mean, which way round?
So if he basically, if he died in the swamps, then there would probably be the tiniest bit of maybe potential infection or swamp juice in the wound area. Whereas if it happened outside of the swamp, then the wounds would the cauterization would basically be clean.
Right. Okay. Yes. So he's got a little bit of swamp juice, like on the wounds and stuff.
Okay. So he was killed in the
killed in
swamps. So why was he in the swamps with his neighbor? Okay. And the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna leave the room while people are talking, but Toz kind of is gently walking towards the door just because she wants to go and look for a will.
Oof.
Oh, okay.
Can Delphi
Okay.
do something quickly?
Cool. Yeah, go for it.
Firstly, Delphi wants to cast Detect Magic to see if anything magical is going on, because they can do that at will, so why not? Is there anything magical? Or notably magical?
There's nothing notably magical beyond sort of what you would expect to be surrounding you and the party. Felicity's got quite a high level of kind of just dormant magic sat around her.
Okay, then Delphi is going to... She's going to do sort of the very basics of, not funeral rites, but death rites in terms of, sort of honouring the body and not just leaving it in a cupboard.
Good, yeah.
I think she might need a hand from someone. She'll be like, could someone give me a hand for a second? Just a
I
quick
will
second.
give her a hand.
Yeah, if this is happening at the same time that Toz is trying to leave the room, I would follow Toz.
Okay, well, on that note, Morgan, hands.
Morgan puts some gloves on, and then
Cool.
I don't know what you want to do, but
I think it's mainly taking the body and lying it down and then putting a sheet over it, essentially, with that's been probably dipped in oil, which might not be the thing for non-grow folk, but now it's the thing for grow folk. So an oily sheet.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's canon now.
And
That's a horrible way of describing it.
an oily sheet over
by
the
that
dead
do you
body.
mean the way that you will have oil fabric on raincoats that's kind of waxy, or do you
No,
mean
no,
that,
a
bit of
fabric dipped in,
just dripping oil?
Dipped in incense.
not dripping oil, but you know when you put an egg wash on something, it's like that but with oil.
That makes sense. If it's nice smelling as well, it's if it's
No, this is normal cooking oil.
just okay.
Whatever.
Oh my god.
We're gonna baste this body tonight, baby.
I'm imagining sesame oil now.
I hate it so
No,
much.
Oh my god. I hate this. I thought that was quite sweet and quite, evocative because oils are plant based and it would be a but no,
It's
cooking oil.
It's whatever oil Delphi can find.
Baste this boy in veggie oil and send him on his way.
That's the thing, there's a lot of oils that are traditionally used for that purpose,
It's-
and Eiriol just went, oh, it's cooking oil.
Listen, all oil is oil.
Did Delphi have a bottle of this
Yeah.
with her for the dead, or did she just go into the kitchen?
Delphi has a gallon of oil on her at all times.
No, she's gone to the kitchen and grabbed a bottle of extra virgin olive oil.
And starts just spreading it on real thick.
So now not only do we have a corpse, but the corpse is greased.
This is the most cursed thing you've ever done in this.
Okay, to Delphi, it is sweet and it is important. It's just wildly cursed in out of context.
Oh my god, in every other context, this is the worst thing.
They would use fancy oils if they had them, but Delphi doesn't have.
Oh, that's
fancy
why it's
oil.
extra virgin olive oil, not just regular olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil. That's the fancy
She
stuff.
put some garlic in it to really keep the flavour.
Delphi, I understand about respectful
Sorry.
dead people handling. I just we very much do need to hide this body, and it was quite well hidden in that cupboard. At least it wasn't out on the ground, and now it is in fact out flat on the ground, wrapped in a sheet, and now it's greasier and harder to handle.
No body deserves to be put in a cupboard, and this
Oh
is.
yes, but
And this oil.
I think we
will
should
keep it-
decide what to do with it.
This
Are
oil
we going
will
to-
keep it. Will stop it from degrading as fast. It is important that we treat our dead with respect. Don't you agree?
I do, but if I think we should decide
We can close the curtains and we can keep it secret.
where physically
I
are we
am doing.
putting this body.
People don't just look in houses.
I skipped out on my how to hide a body classes, or well, rather, most of what I picked up in my how to hide a body classes.
You know what they
was-
say? The easiest way to hide a body is in plain sight.
You mean in the cupboard? No, normally I just dump it in the canal, but there are no canals here.
There are many canals.
We are not dumping
Oh,
a body in a canal.
There are so
This
many
house
canals.
is literally backed onto a canal.
Oh, okay.
Katie?
Not
We're
compared
not
to Antibro,
dumping
though.
any bodies.
Not compared to Antibro, which is half
Yeah.
flooded.
We're not putting Dr. Delaware's body in a canal. I have to say, I don't understand what you're doing, Delphi. But I have to say, like, I don't know. I do think that
You look very intentional.
We have three options. There are three options here. We make the body known to police somehow. We shout it at them, or perhaps just like take it to them in a wheelbarrow and give it to them. Option 2, we hide it somewhere, bury it, burn it, sink it, however he would prefer to be dealt with, and we do it all properly but secretly. Or 3, we find some sort of cleric or someone who might be able to potentially bring him back to life, but I think the amount of money, time, effort and resort, I don't know if that's feasible. I don't know if we know anyone or of anyone who could do that.
Well, for now, it will stay here.
Are we going to just hide this body and then try and figure out who killed him? Because if we are going to do that, we need a
if it
plan.
makes you feel any
need
better
to
than
not coat it
I don't think
in oil.
that. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna be looking for it. As far as I can tell, like it's been here for 7 days, and nobody's said anything. So, nobody's come round. So I don't know.
Yes, but it cannot. We can bury it in the garden if you wish, but is there a garden?
There's not a garden.
We cannot leave. We could leave it in the cupboard. We could, I guess, leave it in the cupboard, erase all evidence.
Well, now it's covered in oil, and I do think that'll be quite hard to get back in.
Delphi is pretty adamant of not putting the body
Yes,
back in the cupboard.
I mean that's
It's
fine.
it's not just in the street with a sheet over it. It's in whatever.
Enough oil to roast a potato.
It's in whatever, like the living room or whatever room.
And there's a
that's
great big oily smear on the
relatively
ground now, so we're not going to be able to hide evidence we were here. Therefore, we want them to not look too hard here. Therefore, we need to take the body somewhere and bury it, or we need to burn it.
Delphi's not going to.
Felicity, do you have any idea what he would wish to do with his body after he died?
I have no idea.
Now can we cut to Raina and Toz looking for the will?
Now, yes,
Yeah.
we can. Let's cut to Raina and Tars looking for the will. That feels like a good segue. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to both do investigation checks? Wow, everything in this arc is just going to be investigation.
It's a
checks,
mystery.
isn't it?
That's murder mysteries, baby. So I crit.
And I blew out my microphone. Oops. A dazer.
Hey, Toz, where you going?
Oh, I'm looking for the will.
Oh yeah, that's the thing people do. Yeah, okay. Can I come with you?
Yeah, of course. I read a lot of detective novels of this young orcish girl growing up. Really, really inspiring stuff. She had her own little detective club after school. It was brilliant. But yeah, so I fancy myself a little bit of a detective. I figured, who stands to benefit most from his death? There's one good place to look, and if not, at least we might have some family information, so we can give the body to them.
Well, you certainly seem to know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, he might have a family.
You're not here, Katie.
I know. This is Katie, not Morgan.
Presumably he has parents.
Yeah, well, we don't know how old he was. Maybe his parents aren't there. But yes, I will roll. To help. I don't really need to. But
yeah, I mean,
to
Toz
help.
crit, so I think. Well, anyway, just to know what Raina got.
I got a 17, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
So you both, so you head upstairs, and it's a very, simple, again, a sort of simple affair, small bedroom and adjoining bathroom, with another sort of slightly smaller writing desk, which appears to be mostly cluttered with, touristy sort of knickknacks from Clockwork City.
Very good.
After rummaging through a few drawers and finding, bank statements and all of that kind of documentation that you need to keep around. Dr. Delaware does not have a good filing system. He has just shoved them all into this desk and prescribed this desk as
the important papers desk.
I feel very called out.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not being called out, Katie, because this is just me.
This is everyone.
Maybe it's just everyone. And yeah, so you relatively easily find his will. A quick scan over it suggests that he did not have loads of money. He is an academic after all, but he was first of all, his wish to be was to be
covered in oil and
basted like a turkey. Nah,
it says it in words. Covered in cooking oil specifically, and basted like a turkey.
Dr. Marius Delaware, full name, is from the distant northern city of Sager, and in his will he outlines a common Sajan burial practice, which is essentially there is a large coniferous forest outside of the city, and essentially some wizards and warlocks, because obviously wizardry is a big thing among the orcs. Wizards will essentially transfer the life force from the body into a new plant for the forest, and so there is a forest in Sager called the Forest of Elders, and he says that he wishes his remains to be taken there.
Cool.
Nice and easy.
That's good to know.
Across the country.
Over a mountain, but
What
cool.
is there anything specific about who's bequeathed to what? What's bequeathed to who?
He has no descendants, and no living parents left.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, he's split his life savings between 3 people. The majority of it is going to his someone who's listed as his godmother, who is listed as living in Sager, and then the other sort of large bulk of it, 40% of it, is being donated to the department of the University of Brawl to continue his research.
Oh, nice.
And then there is a small sum that has grant funding. So he's setting up a thing in his name, and then a small sum left. I think 10 or 20% is left to Felicity.
Okay.
That's nice and enough to not be suspicious.
She said you didn't have much money.
So yeah, I'm happy to. Toz is happy to go and relate the information about the will to everyone else, and then be like, so I suppose we should go and say hello to the neighbours.
Many Aces is Am Chisholm, Chloe Elliott, Eiriol Evans, Katie McLeod, and me, Ellie Webster. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Deck of Many Aces, and tweet at us with the hashtag DOMA, that's DOMA. You can also find us on Podchaser, where you can leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it if you did that, and we'll give you a little reply and say hi. Come say hi to us, basically. If you want to check out the full soundtrack, I forgot what the word was then. If you want to check out the full soundtrack to the podcast, then you can find it on Chloe's SoundCloud. I'm not with it today. SoundCloud, not Spotify. The link is in the episode description. Speaking of Chloe's incredible musical talents, if you listen to popular podcast Snyder's Return, their City of Mist campaign is starting very, very soon, or may have just started by the time this comes out. And if you listen very closely, you might be able to hear some familiar musical refrains. That is right, our very own Chloe Elliott is composing for the City of Mist campaign and has done a couple of musical bits for Snyder's Return, who are so lovely and so supportive, so I was so excited to hear about this collaboration, so you should check that out. I will be. I'm very excited, because I haven't heard the music yet. Woo! If you want to hear more of Am, then check her out on A Rendezvous with Destiny, a Sky on Actual Play podcast that she helps to create. She's also currently auditioning for an audio drama, so if you are interested in doing some voice acting for some kind of cool fantasy, apocalyptic stuff that Am has written, then please contact her via her Twitter, which is am_Chisholm, or at rwdpodcastcontact@gmail.com. That's rwdpodcastcontact@gmail.com. I'll put the link in the description as well. I've read some of the extracts. I'm going to be auditioning for it, and I strongly encourage other people to do so, because Am's a delight to work with, and it'll be fun. It'll be so much fun. I think that's all of the news from me. You will have heard us already waxing lyrical about our Acast supporter link, but it bears mentioning again, it bears repeating. If you'd like to help support us, then we've got an Acast supporter link where you can give a one-off donation, which will go towards making a web design and having merch and advertising and all this other cool stuff that is going to help our podcast grow and get even better. That is probably everything from me. Wow, this is going to be a long one again, so if you're still listening to this, catch up with a friend that you haven't seen in a while. You know the one that you've been meaning to talk to for ages, and you keep forgetting to reach out to them. Reach out to them, check in with those people, because I'm sure that they miss you as much as you miss them. Next episode is out on the 20th of August. So I will see you, or I guess you will hear me then. Have an ace week. Bye! Friends, this is the catch-up for anybody who doesn't want to necessarily listen to the whole episode, or if you'd like to listen to this beforehand and judge for yourself whether you want to listen to the full episode. Let's get into it without any further ado. So, at the start of the episode, the body of Dr. Marius Delaware is in the cupboard. Felicity explains. She reported him as missing, but was unsatisfied with the slowness of the police investigation, so she paid a wizard to cast scrying for her. She found the body in an industrial swamp and quickly went to inform the police about it. However, they dismissed her, saying the investigation was closed. She went back to see the body again and found a mysterious figure attempting to drag the body away. The figure outran her, but left the body behind, and in a panic, she brought it back to Dr. Delaware's house, hoping someone could cast resurrection or speak with dead. Felicity also reveals that she's had a run-in with the police before, which is why she's really scared of telling anyone about this in case they report her. Upon examining the body, Toz discovers that her story checks out. She finds burn marks and wounds that have been cauterized, indicating that the cause of death was something fire-related, like a firebolt. She also finds evidence that he was killed in the swamp rather than taken to the swamp after death. Delphi casts Detect Magic and finds nothing notably magical, just the usual magic residue you'd find around the party, and Felicity, who has quite a high volume of dormant magical energy surrounding her. Delphi then carries out some funeral rites, which for Grove folk is covering the body in a sheet covered in oil. Tars heads upstairs to find a will, and Raina follows her. In the will, Dr. Marius Delaware outlines a common burial practice in Sager, where wizards will transfer the life force from the body into a new plant, which is added to a coniferous forest named the Forest of Elders. He has no living descendants, and his parents have both passed away. He has split his money in 3 ways. Some of it is going to a godmother who is listed as living in Sager, so very far away. The bulk of it is going to the Department of the University of Braw, and a small sum, finally, is left for Felicity, but only about 10 to 20%. Toz looks at all this and comes to the conclusion that it doesn't look like anyone's trying to kill Dr. Marius Delaware to get any sort of financial gain. It's not suspicious. Finally, Raina asks Felicity if he had any trouble with anyone, and Felicity remembers overhearing a police officer talking about an altercation between Dr. Delaware and his neighbour right before he disappeared. The group resolves to go and chat to the neighbour, and you'll have to find out what happens next in 2 weeks' time. Woo!